Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great Saturday we have here today. And we have so much going on. Lots of action all around the town and in the home improvement space. And you know what I love about a wet morning like today? Your house just took a test. That's right. It rained yesterday, last night, overnight. And the house that you live in took a test and it left you the answer key. That's right, my friends. The smart homeowner doesn't ignore that. So before you head out the door, let me give you a roadmap today. The Hire It Done roadmap, right? 10 minutes, mostly with your own two eyes. Okay, my friends, think about this. That's what I want you to make sure you know today, because look at this is post-rain inspection. Your house took the test, the rain hit your house. You're now going to figure out what parts of your house might need fixing or might have some kind of warning signs. So let's go through this list today. And if you're tuning in for the first time, I want to thank you. And don't forget, you can watch us live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We got everything. And TikTok too? Yeah, we're live on TikTok. How about that? And so it's good. So let's go outside this morning after, first, let me back it up a second. Grab your coffee, grab a pen and paper, and I'm inviting you to join the conversation, okay? And if you're making your plans for the weekend, I'm also going to be talking about good stuff to do around the house and around town. See some great renovations if you're interested in that. I highly recommend you do that. So anyways, go outside this morning and start at your foundation. Walk the perimeter of your house. You're looking at one thing, okay? You look for one thing, water pooling up against the foundation. The ground should slope away from the house, not toward it. A puddle hugging your foundation today is a wet basement and a cracked wall tomorrow. Remember that, friends. Water always wins. Catch it now while it's a shovel of dirt away. Not a phone call to a waterproofing company. Waterproofing, amongst other home improvements today, is super expensive. In fact, the cost of everything has gone out of control. Inflation, everything is just nuts. So this is why maintenance has become so much more important than a lot of other things in your life. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Okay, so now, what about your basement or crawl space? Drop into it, eyes and nose. That's right, my friend. Take a look and take a whiff. Look for damp spots. Look for staining where the wall meets the floor, and trust your nose, because your nose knows. If it smells musty, water's getting in somewhere. If you've got a sump pump, listen for it and peek in your sump crock. Look in that pit. The morning after a good rain is the only honest test that thing will ever get. Remember that, my friends. And if you go down in your basement and it's full of water, oy, that's a big oy, right? So what you need to do is make certain that you have the right contractor. That's why you go to hireitdone.com. We have great insurance repair, flood, fire, windstorm, waterproofers, handyman, painters, roofers, all kinds of good contractors. So after you've gone that, go back outside. Look up at your gutters, okay? If they've overflowed last night, you've got a clog. If it leaves grit, there's leaves, there's grit from the roof, tennis balls, who knows? Follow that downspout. Water should be dumping 4 to 6 feet away from your house, not right at the corner washing out your landscaping. A $10 extension saves you a 4-figure repair. Let me say that again for all my listeners, including Jocelyn. I like saying Jocelyn because I always say it the wrong way. It's okay. And the girls. Shout out to the girls. Let me say it again. A $10 extension for your gutters saves you a 4-figure repair. Okay? Now the roof. From the ground, look at your roof. You don't need to climb up there. You know how many ladder injuries there are a year just from people getting on a ladder trying to mess up with the roof? It's like 16,000 emergency room visits just because of ladder accidents. So be careful, okay? Like I always say, hire it done. Don't do it yourself, right? But from the neck down, since I'm worth minimum wage, you got to be careful and you got to learn the knowledge and the questions to ask to find the right person. So stand back and look for shingles that have lifted. Look for shingles that are curled or just plain missing. When you have a good rain, if there's trees are budding, usually gets on your roof and stuff. This rain washed a lot of it off. So you get a good shot at your roof today and look for that curled shingles, missing shingles, whatever you have. Then go pop your head in the attic. Take a flashlight, obviously. Look for water stains on the backside of the roof. Okay? Here's the best part about a roof. A roof tells on itself the morning after. Your roof is in confession. Remember that. Now, also the small stuff. I want you to check the small stuff. And that's something that it's important for you to know, okay? Windows. Look at your window wells. Are they filling up with water and leaves, soil and mulch that washed out and left a low spot? A puddle that won't drain off the driveway? And look at your trees, okay? Go around your house and look at your trees. Saturated ground plus a leaning limb is how you end up with a branch through the garage. That's right. Think about it. If a tree is leaning over your house, if a tree is rubbing up against the side of your house, that small little back and forth, guess what? It's like sandpaper running against the house. Eventually, it's going to wear it away, and then you're going to have a roof leak, and then you're going to be really, really upset. You're going to be like, oh, man, I should have listened to Adam. You hear me, Jocelyn? You should be listening to me. Check the small stuff again, like I'm saying, right? How about a puddle that won't drain off your driveway? We call those bird baths. And look at your trees again, like we said, okay? Make sure you're smart. But here's the bottom line, folks. Your home is your castle. Your single biggest investment, and a rainy night is a free information seminar. Most of these are 5-minute fixes today that turn into $5,000 problems if you let them sit. There's no wonder why your insurance company tells you that you're part of your responsibilities of the insured home is to mitigate your damages. So here's the thing, man. Grab your coffee, take the walk, and protect your house. Catch the little stuff before it gets to the big stuff. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So what else is going on, friends? Well, if you're in the Metro Detroit area this weekend, tomorrow, we have some really cool stuff for you to go see. The Ransom Gillis house in Detroit, a special of Nicole Curtis, her project that she was the quarterback on, and literally transformed a house that should have been torn down, that most people think. But her grit, her her tenacity, and her knowledge, all three of those would not allow this house to go the wrong way. And now this is living proof that renovation works. It's living proof that you can rescue any house. And that's where renovation becomes a good view. I've been renovating homes, friends, for over 3 decades. In fact, I've renovated, remodeled, repaired, fixed, built over 10,000 homes in the past 30 years. And I've worked with Nicole Curtis in the past. She's great. Everyone knows her from the Rehab Addict. And she's just a fantastic person. And she has the Ransom Gillis home tour in Detroit tomorrow. And we're going to get more information from her soon. And we'll let you know about it. But first off, if you're thinking of doing home improvement, okay, I have a story I want to tell you. And this is where homeowners email me all the time. And by the way, you can always email me, adam@hireitdone.com. Go to hireitdone.com, click on Ask Adam. There's a million ways, but the Hire It Done website is super cool. We have AI. You can actually estimate your job on hireitdone.com. You can upload a picture of a bathroom, and then it'll give you all the breakdown of all the material and the pricing. How about them apples, right? But anyways, back to the story. So a homeowner, we'll call her Jocelyn. Jocelyn is this really cool homeowner, and she wants to remodel a bathroom. And so she says, hey, I'm thinking of remodeling a bathroom, but we're on a strict budget. I want to do it right. What do you recommend, and who do you recommend, Adam? And I'm like, oh, well, I've got some great contractors. And obviously we have Metro Home Improvement, Brian Lee. He's one of our premier home improvement contractors. We got Veronica Simmons & Co. I've got all kinds of other contractors that you can use. Brendan Poslico, another one. And so this homeowner's like, what do I do? I said, well, here, call a couple contractors that from Hired Done and have them invite them to your house. But before you invite them, tell them exactly what you want done and tell them what you're not ready to do and what you're ready to do. That way you've set the stage. And I'm going to give you the breakdown and I'm going to tell you the results and the story when we come back, because this is really good information. And I'm going to give you some tips on hiring contractors along this analogy for you. And also don't forget it's Shout Out Saturday. So shout out to Jocelyn Warden listening to the show. I've been throwing her name around. Superstar. And also lots of great content coming up. So keep it locked in here on 101 WRAF and the Beasley Media Group all around the country. My name's Adam Helfman, and this is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great Saturday morning. Little humid this morning. Rained last night. We were talking about after the rain, the morning after walkthrough. It's one of those things. But now we're talking about the ability for homeowners to contact me if you want. If you need advice on home improvement, if you need help finding a contractor, if you're having trouble with a contractor, I get so many emails from homeowners asking me how to fire their contractor. Oh, we got this, we got that. How do we handle it? Well, if you visit hireitdone.com, the website, obviously all the resources are there. Our YouTube channel, you should subscribe to that. Every week the radio show's on it. And plus we do reels, shorts on Instagram. Our whole social media is on fire. We got 200,000 plus subscribers now. And all I want to do is continue to do that. So this story I'm telling you is about a homeowner who wants to remodel her bathroom. And we'll give her name Jocelyn. We're going to call her Jocelyn because that's a cool name. And so Miss Jocelyn says to me, hey, Adam, I want to remodel my master bath, but I have a new granite countertop and a vanity that I bought a few years ago that I really like and I want to keep. I'm like, listen, a good contractor, Jocelyn, will build your bathroom and work around your wants and needs. Not every bathroom remodel has to be a gut to the studs. Not every bathroom remodel has to be everything to everyone. It's a custom job for you. You're paying. And at the end of the day, that's called the golden rule. Okay. He who has the gold rules. So one of the things though about reusing something from a homeowner is that there's a risk. Anytime you're demolitioning a bathroom and you're going to save the vanity or save the granite, remember those are installed. That means they're screwed down, they're glued down, they're caulked in, and to disassemble and to protect that is a little bit of a risk. So a good contractor is going to say to you, Jocelyn, here is what we're going to do for you. Here's the layout, and we're going to reuse your vanity and we're going to reuse your granite top. However, in order to do this properly, we're going to have to remove the vanity from the bathroom and the granite top. And because the granite is sitting on the vanity and it's connected, and there's a mirror on the wall that's sitting on top of your granite backsplash, it's going to be like surgery. We're going to have to remove this. So there's a chance and a risk we're going to break something, but we're going to do our very best to make it so that we can reuse it. That's, to me, friends, and everyone out there, that's the sign of a really good contractor. Now, to give you the warning that it could happen shouldn't be an alarmist reaction. It should be like, oh, okay, he's giving me the he's updating me on what could happen. And so as a homeowner, you go like, okay, now you could be the homeowner that says, if you break it, you're buying it. You break it, you're replacing it. Oh, well, that's a problem. But it's a risk. Now, if the vanity and the granite top is staying in the same location while they demo the bath, then the next step is we're going to protect your vanity and we're going to protect your granite top. And we're going to do our best to make sure that when we're breaking out the plaster and the drywall and the tile and everything else, that we protect the vanity. Now, remember, bathrooms aren't huge, so it's a little bit of a risk. Now, what's he going to do to protect it? Maybe he goes to the big box store and he buys some 2-inch foam, like the Dow Blue Board, and he cuts it to put it on the countertop and on the sides and the corners, and then he covers it with a drop cloth. Maybe that's how he protects your existing product. I don't know, but my point is, when you are remodeling a bathroom, you need to communicate with your contractor. Now, a really good contractor, the ones that I like to promote, are the ones that communicate very well with homeowners. Because literally, my friends, the nucleus, let me say this again, the nucleus of successful home improvement, the nucleus of being a good contractor and being a great custodial homeowner is communication. That's right, my friends, communication. That's the center of the home improvement universe. Communication. If you want a great contractor, you got to communicate with him, and he has to communicate back. It's a reciprocal event. So finding a good contractor with a bathroom remodel isn't impossible, but setting your job up for success is the key. So I tell everyone, tell the contractor at the first meeting, listen, I'm getting other bids. Be honest with them. Tell them you're getting other prices. Tell them that this is my dream. And say to them, I would like for you to help me put together the roadmap for a successful bathroom. Now, the contractor is going to try and extract more information from you. He's going to say to you, well, what's your budget? And by the way, that's a fair question. However, by the way, I think every homeowner has a budget in their mind, whether it's real or not. They always have a number in their head. But here's how I would respond to the contractor when homeowner says, what's your budget? Or when the contractor says, what's your budget? Here's, as a homeowner, this is what you should say to the contractor. Mr. Contractor, I appreciate you asking me that. And to be honest with you, I hired you. I mean, I called you out and I invited you, I invited you to my home because you're the expert. I got you from hireitdone.com, and Hire It Done says to me, we want to get you a great contractor. So getting that done is the best way to do it. And how do you do that? You very simply, you say to them, you're the expert. Can you please, Mr. Contractor, give me a range of what a bathroom I want to do is? And that's the best part. So here's what I want you to say to the contractor. Give me a range. And then the contractor, who's really smart, is pretty simple. And here's what we do. The smart contractor is the one that says, okay, Mrs. Jones, or we're going to call her Jocelyn. Okay, Jocelyn, here's what I want to do to give you the best price. And here's how we're going to do it. Jocelyn, you want tile, you want a shower door, you want new shower head, you want how many sprayers, and he'll ask you a bunch of questions. And what we do is basically get you whatever you need. You can ask basically anything you want based on the answers. So what the contractor should say to you is say, Mrs. Jones, based on your information, we'd like for you to know that your bathroom is going to be between $20,000 and $30,000 based on what you said. At that point, when the contractor tells you what that is, guess what? You're definitely going to have a good range. But in your head now, you know, $20,000 to $30,000, that's a lot of money for a bathroom. And then you can say, okay, Mr. Contractor, I like 20 more than 30. The contractor can be like, okay, we can get you there. Or you can say, Mr. Contractor, that's way out of my budget. I didn't even realize I wanted to spend 10. Is there anything I can do for 10? And those are the ways you do. But being honest with your contractor, having him tell you the range, that's the best way to do it. So obviously, if you want a contractor, visit hireitdone.com. That's the best way to do things, in my opinion. And if you want, it's not a problem. You can always email me, adam@hireitdone.com. I'm here to help you. I like to help people. It's just my nature. I'm that guy. I've been doing this for 3+ decades, and that's where I'm at. So what are you doing this weekend? We're going to be having a special guest right now, and a longtime friend, like since 2012, believe it or not.
That long?
It's been a really long time. Right. Nicole Curtis, expert renovator, famous person, good friend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Late.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on time?
I try. Yes,
especially early.
Yes. No, this was.
Did you come from Lake Orion today, or where'd you come from?
No. Come on. Let's just get that out of there. Let's just kill that right
dirty
now.
Word?
No, everyone always thinks that I live in Lake Orion because the good friends at the local news medias love to, if they want to get a dig at me, they say Nicole Curtis from Lake Orion. I did grow up in Lake Orion. I
Right.
grew up there, which means I was raised. I left at 17. I'm not 17, obviously.
No?
So, no.
You over 21 yet?
Yeah. I'm using my fake ID today, but no, came from Detroit.
There
So
you
just
go.
just to make that clear, that's why it takes me a long time to get
Good
up
city.
here.
Good city.
Yes.
That's okay. Well, we broadcast the show live, folks, at our studio in Bloomfield Hills here, Michigan. And in the studio right now, obviously, is Nicole Curtis. Nicole, let's talk about what's going on this weekend for you, and let's get some people out there because I'm excited for it.
Yeah, this weekend we are opening up the Ransom Gillis Mansion in Detroit in Brush Park for the first time since November 1st, 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's one of the homes that if I'm wandering around Detroit and I run into people, that's the home that they talk about. And
Yeah, signature.
yeah, and if you're not familiar with it, before Brush Park was a bunch of very ugly modern
Burned out something.
These big monstrosities that they've built now. There was fields, and there was
Right.
a few of these beautiful homes left in Brush Park. And when I say beautiful, it's my version of beautiful. So yes, all burnt out. The Ransom Gillis house had a roof that had been put on it by the city of Detroit to stabilize it, but that's about it. There was no insides left. The brick was all falling apart. It was falling down. And you could just look at the house back in 2015 and it was all fields. It was just beautiful. And we restored that. So that's the home we're opening up. People ask me like, why now? What's going on? As you're aware, we always help local families fighting cancer. Their children are going through
Sure.
chemo treatment, and we help them with their mortgages, their rent, home restorations, anything that we can do to just take off even like a little tiny bit of that burden of battling cancer. And not just battling cancer as an adult, but having your child go through it.
Yeah.
And so when we do these opens, we're raising money for a family. And that money goes directly from your hands to my hands to their hands. There's nothing to gain from it. I know that there's a lot going on about me right now in the city and the world, and I get that. But please understand that the only time we've ever opened up these homes is to raise money for a local family. I do not do things where we raise money for a certain charity or this or that, because if anyone is really familiar with nonprofits, the biggest profit is a nonprofit.
Correct. Yeah.
And if there's a little form called 990 that you can look up on any nonprofit, and you'll see how much their CEO makes. So we don't support we don't raise money for somebody else's nonprofit. We raise it for a family, and it goes directly to them. So I'm excited. I'm a little anxious, to say the least. This is the first public appearance I've made in years.
Right.
Besides here with you,
Yeah.
or wandering around Eastern Market, or somebody runs into me at like Brooks Lumberyard downtown, But I don't do too many. I really don't. I like staying in, at home and with my family and on my job site. So this one, to come out and open up this iconic home again, it's a lot. And the biggest thing for me too is that in 2015, when we did this, Tessa was by my side opening it up, and she has since passed, and
I remember that.
she would be 18 this year and graduating high school. So
She was,
she was 9. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no,
boy.
she wasn't 9 there. I think Tessa was 7 at the Ransom Gillis open house. So we're very excited. This home means a lot to me. It, like I said, it's the one people know me for. I never owned it, and I think that's a clarification. People assumed that I had owned the house. I still don't.
Yeah.
But we have a very good relationship with the owners, needless to say. So that's why we get to open the door. So if you missed it in 2015, because the lines were,
Remember, around the block.
lines were all day. People were waiting 8-9 hours. I expect that to be no, not at all. If 5 people show up, I'm excited.
Yeah, whatever it takes. So let's go back to 2015 to how the story, or how the program or the renovation got culminated together, and then we'll bring it up to today, because
Yeah.
the open house is tomorrow, right?
Yes, it was supposed to be today, because all the weather this week said
Yeah.
thunderstorms.
But who
And I
believes the
just,
weather, man?
I get that. And here's the thing
It'll
though.
rain today.
I'll stay out in the rain. It's just that a lot of our guests that will be coming through
Sure.
are older than me, older than they're like in their 80s and 90s. I mean, that's the truth. And I love having them come out. And so to think that they would have to be standing in the rain and we tried to think like, could we throw up some tents? Could we do this? And then we looked at Sunday tomorrow and it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And
Right.
let's not chance it. So
No, it's
we had to move
it's
some
fun
things
news.
around.
It's good though.
We thought of postponing it. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I postpone another thing in the city, then there's going to be some new tabloid.
Yeah.
There's going to be like
the haters always come out.
it's going to be she's locked up in a loony bin. There's something going on. No, my friends, it was just weather. Yes.
Yeah, and that's okay. We can accept just weather.
Yes.
So I remember because I was working in the city doing the Rehab and Ready program.
Yes.
With Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you and I already knew each other, but that's how I was doing houses around that area.
Yeah.
And then people were contacting me on that. But just see, because I'm like from an armchair quarterback watching.
Right.
I'm still amazed that. And back then in 2015, I'll be honest, even with my experience, friends who are listening, I would have torn that house down. And to see what you were able to save, do, and then make it the way it is today. And that's why I urge anybody listening today, if you ever thought about going to the Ransom Gillis house, make an effort to see it tomorrow. Not only are you helping a family, but you're going to see a renovation that has surpassed the time and literally breathed new life into a house that a guy like me, who I like to renovate, I like to restore, I want to recycle whatever, but I would have torn that down. And to see what you did, amazing.
Yeah, I think the good news is that I'm the biggest optimist when it comes to old houses. Not to people. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But when it comes to houses, and I think there's that bittersweet moment, because sometimes I think like, I wish my brain didn't think like that.
Right.
I wish it didn't. They want to tear down Cooley High School right now.
I know.
So people are coming at me like, Nicole, what can you save? But there's plans to build a new something there. So I don't know how much power do I have? It's not the power that I have. I like to say I have wisdom about these old houses. And when people don't like to hear my wisdom or experience, they chalk it up to like, now they say she's just a has-been reality TV star. No, I'm a historic preservation expert. Like that's my MO. But no, definitely the Ransom Gillis. And we've had some critics over the years too. If you look at the photos inside, it's brick walls. And I was judged hard on that. Why didn't she put drywall up? The brick that you see on the interior when you walk through the house.
Sure.
And I'm getting goosebumps again, because there's a lot of energy in the Ransom Gillis house. If you are a ghost story person.
Oh yeah, there's definitely vibrations in that
there
house.
is, and we found my archaic YouTube video, which we are going to revive sooner or later. But we have a video of me walking through the basement back in 2015, and our radios would come on
Crackle.
in this corner of the basement. There's definitely some feels in there, but I wanted, when somebody walks through the Ransom Gillis house 50 years from now, I wanted them to see the original pieces of the house. And the only thing left in that house that was original was the brick.
Correct.
That's it. So I left the brick walls so that you could come in, you can touch it.
Right.
And you can feel that energy. And if
There's history.
If I had covered it with drywall, you wouldn't see it.
Correct.
What would you see of that house? So there's nothing else original. We had the best artisans in Detroit working on that home. And I don't want anyone to think that I did this solo. It was.
Well, that's one thing I like about you.
I was the leader and the fighter.
Yeah, I admire that about you, because you always give credit to everybody. It's not about you. And that's been a good thing. And I appreciate and respect that a lot. You've reached out to me in the past, and we've, crossed paths a lot. And, your knowledge, your grit is what gets it done. So the Ransom Gillis house in Brush Park, is there an address? It's like
yes, I gave the wrong address out yesterday. I do apologize. And somebody was like, how does she not know the address? Why would I need to know the address? I went to work there. I gave up so much of my life. I mean, I had a baby.
Yep.
And I was on that job site 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later.
Whoa.
So yes. That's my dedication to it. So the address is actually 205 Alfred Street. And I just want to clarify a few things. If you are, we have a VIP line. It's
Mhm.
not a VIP line like everyone assumes a VIP line is. Do not flash money to get in my VIP line.
Right.
Obviously, oh, I am wearing my shirt from 2015 back then. It's a little smaller, tighter, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Actually,
But
it looks good.
you cannot pay to get in my VIP line. My VIP line is for VIPs. So that means you're about as old as my grandmother would be if she was still alive, right?
Right.
You are a family with small children, right? Because small children don't want to wait in lines.
No.
And so if you are coming down and you have kids, please, I'm a mom, come and see one of my volunteers. And by the way, my volunteers, they're not hired. They're all my friends and family. So be nice to them. But they've also been through this so many times. So
They know.
don't try to pull
They
anything
know the
on it.
rules.
So the VIP line, if you have somebody that has mobility issues, someone that can't walk very well or can't stand in line,
Right.
anything going on
It's
like
like
that.
boarding a Delta flight.
It's like pre-boarding, yes,
Yes.
but not the scammers. Don't scam,
Right.
because I'll call you out. As somebody, when some stuff was going down about me a couple of months ago, somebody wrote like, I've been to her open house. She just yells and heckles everyone. No, I am just like, you can't go in the VIP line. You can
Right, right.
stand.
You
You're a
call people
healthy
out.
young man. Stand in line. So we do have that. I don't want anyone to think, hey, I can't stand in line, or I'm not feeling well. I can't. No. Please come down. We'll get you in. The line starts at 10:30. So this is very important. These are some very important numbers. Listen up. The line starts at 10:30. The doors open at 11. The line ends at 1. That doesn't mean we're closing the doors at 1. That means you need to be in the line by 1. And we'll
Right.
get you in. We've always done that with all of our opens. I will spend as much time as we need to be there.
Is
We're
it a
raising
guided
money.
tour, or is it just come in and just wander
You
around?
come in, but guided. No, but there is a special person in my life in every single room, and they
Okay.
will talk to you about what was done in that
Tell the
room, the
story.
history. They're going to answer your questions. I don't have time to answer the questions in line.
Right.
And once you get me talking, you know me. I'm like you. We talk. So
You never
please,
shut.
please don't talk to Nicole tomorrow. Just say hi, give me your money,
Yeah.
go inside. When you are inside, there are no photos, there are no videos. And we have my favorite story, Ann Baxter did all the beautiful stained glass in that home. And it is
Yes.
breathtaking.
It is amazing.
And
It is.
Ann and her husband and her family have been wonderful friends of ours for years. And they've always come out and helped. But I remember years ago, somebody was taking a phone. And if it wasn't you, I'm so sorry, but I remember the story as you. And she saw them and she took their phone. She's like, need to delete it. And I mean, that's when I say like our volunteers are that dedicated, because
Right.
they're my friends and family there. So please don't cheat. It
Respect
is
it,
it
yeah.
is. There's some people that don't. There's some people that cut the line. There's some people that lie to get
There'll
in.
be
Don't
people
do
wearing
it.
Meta glasses.
Oh no.
Right. You better check for that.
I am so checking for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is so worth getting up in the morning and like just rushing here. Meta glasses, I forgot about it. Please don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. It's a private home. And that's
Respect
the thing.
the homeowners. Yeah.
Respect the homeowners. I know that means
Remember, this is a
That's a stretch.
charity event, friends.
yes.
We're here to help a family.
Yes. And when you go through those, so we are doing displays. Not everyone that worked on the house is able to be there on one of my crazy short notices.
Sure.
And on a beautiful Sunday, there's a Tigers game tomorrow. Also, the Indian Village home tour is going on
Oh,
tomorrow
wow. So a lot of action.
and today. So if you were coming down to the city today to see our tour, and we've had to postpone it because I thought there was going to be rain, the Indian Village home tour is going on, and that is such a well
Beautiful.
organized event.
Yeah.
They have like bathroom breaks, they have
They know what they're
concessions,
doing.
they know what they're doing. Us, not so much. Bring a cooler, bring a camp chair. Most of all, bring a good attitude. I always tell people, like, listen, the line, I don't know how long the line's going to be. Let's be honest. Maybe nobody wants to come out because they hate me now. I don't know.
I
hope
think
not.
you'll have plenty of people.
But I say you will meet amazing people in our lines.
Yeah, there will be. Absolutely.
You will make new friends. I have met people over the years that have been like, I went to your Grand Boulevard event, or I went to your 14 Mile event, or the Minneapolis ones, and I met this person, and we are friends for life now. Because think about it.
Yeah.
You have this one thing in common. You love old houses because you're there. You're
Yeah.
there. So come out to Ransom Gillis. I promise you it's going to be a great time. So 10:30 the line starts. 1:00 you have to be in line by. That's the most important thing. Also, bring your ID.
Right.
We do check ID. You do have to sign a release. 100%.
Nothing wrong
Yes.
with that. So you have a check-in table or
We've got
at
a
the
check-in
front door.
table. I don't really know what's
There's
going
plenty
on.
of parking
Yes.
over there too.
Yes. Yes.
It's always good for that.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about more of the story of Ransom Gillis, and we're going to get everyone up to date on what are some of the good trends right now in renovation. My name's Adam Helfman with Nicole Curtis this morning on Hire It Done. We'll be right back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Special guest Nicole Curtis in studio with me, having a great conversation about the Ransom Gillis house from 2015, a renovation project that literally took a house that was 9 feet into the grave and revived it into the most beautiful house in Metro Detroit in Brush Park. Nicole, welcome back.
Thank you. We were also just talking about neck lifts. I'm just going to be honest here,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Plastic surgery. So we're not getting any younger. And in fact, I'm also one of those people who thinks that it's important.
I mean, I don't think I was 40 yet when I did the Ransom Gillis tour last. So
Right.
if you haven't seen me in a while, because as we were discussing earlier, I don't make many official public appearances besides wandering around like Eastern Market or the Antique. I'm going to plug it. I'm always at Royal Oak Antique Market. I was so
Really?
big shout out to everybody there.
You like those finds?
There's a woman named Paulette there that runs everything there, but we've been going there for like 25 years. So back when I used to have a little Dodge Neon that said Mrs. Clean on the side because I had a cleaning business. So I didn't have a truck. So I would go buy antiques. And then there's a couple guys there, Carl outside. He's been on my show so many times. And shout out to Scotty. He's one of the antique dealers. He paints for us too. So all of them would be like, we'll deliver it for you. So now that's such if you want to talk about success is the fact that if I wasn't doing this open tomorrow and I was going, I'm so sorry because I ran it into my Sunday flea market day. But the fact that I can now go to the flea market in my own truck.
Yep.
And take my own stuff home from a Dodge Neon back in the day. I think that's my success.
Absolutely. In fact, let me ask you a question. How long have you been renovating?
So I started my first home. I bought my first home when I was 18 because I bought it on a land contract. And back then we didn't have, I don't think we had an internet. Okay. So I look now and you have all these influencers and reels and I'm not begrudging any of it.
Sure.
Go for it. But you couldn't just decide. You couldn't wake up one day and decide, I'm just going to shoot myself and I'm going to make myself a success, right?
Correct.
So the only people that saw the antics that I was up to, because trust me, everything that you've ever seen over the years on the show, like everything, that's me. I never wanted to come across as this fake person.
No, of course.
Because God forbid, I had to keep that up for 15 years. We had a 15-year run on television.
How many episodes did you end up filming?
Oh my gosh. I think I'm at like 150. Who knows? Because they're off. They're gone now. They're gone. And they're gone. They're just,
Do you have any archives yourself personally?
You know what? This is the sad truth. No. Why would I do archives? The show really never defined me. And I think that's a mistake most people make.
Gotcha. That's a good way to put it.
So we actually have posters of the show that used to be up on all the subway entrances in New York City, right? Which was a huge huge deal for somebody. It was just like funny. Do you know where they are?
No.
They're hanging out the laundry room in my house. They're in the laundry. They're in the basement, in the dungeon in my Detroit house, and they're in the laundry room. So when I'm like doing my laundry, it's just like, and if you know me, I'm a very sarcastic person. I'm I make fun of myself all the time, which then some people, if you take me out of context, well, I shouldn't even say that because I've been taken out of context big time in the past few months, but people will just think that I'm just like this ornery bitch, I guess. I don't even know if, can you say that on the radio now? Okay. You can swear now, right?
No,
you can't. Okay. All right. We're not swearing. But, well, which is why I have all these funny sayings.
It's easier to do a podcast and record it. We can edit as if we're live right now.
So, so like the Ransom Gillis house is so special to me because it is one that even though I didn't own it, I could have just shut my mouth and played nice.
Correct.
And what they originally wanted to do with the Ransom Gillis house was make it a quad. A quad is 4.
Right.
A quad is 4 units.
Like a duplex times 2.
And just to be clear too, we are opening up the front part because it's actually a condo association and there's 2 parts to the Ransom Gillis mansion. Should have only been one because it was one back in the day, but I had to fight to even get it to just be two. So when you do walk through that, if I could put my stamp on anything, it's not white box modern lofts. Okay. It's not. It's still, at least like it still feels like an old
Sure.
mansion. But it is like this just iconic home that we did. We took it from rubble. And I say we because again, it's not me. I'm the circus leader. And there's many parts, many talented people. The people that worked on Ransom Gillis, their talent supersede mine. I will say that. I know what I want. I design it, and I can do a lot of things. But to be a specialty in like stained glass or hardwood flooring or cabinet making or the tile work or things like that, that's a whole different craft.
Right.
And things that is generational. And the tradespeople that I chose for that home are people that they're craftsmen. They're not hack people. They don't just, hey, we're just gonna do the fast way. The staircase in that home, when you walk in and you see the staircase, Jeff did that staircase. I was just in another home from the 1800s that was saved, and everything was saved from the 1800s. So everything original was it. And I walked in and it had the same staircase. And that's giving me goosebumps right now because that was so important to me. I sweated so many details in that house that made me, there was a big riff in that house. And I told that in my New York Times bestselling book. I did that. I just have to plug that real quick. Sometimes I forget the achievements I've done, but I did do that. And we did write about the Ransom Gillis house in that book because to fight sometimes, you have to be the bad guy. And I am consistently the bad guy when it comes to old houses and saving them. Nobody likes me when it comes to that.
Renovate,
unfortunately,
reuse, recycle, the triple R's.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, it's old. Let's do this or do that. No, you make the extra effort. And I see it because it's all my business as well.
Yeah.
I see the extra effort you look for. If there's a cornice or a crown molding or something, you're not just going to rip it out and see what you can available at a local lumberyard. You're going to go find the match. You're going to find whatever you can to match it. It makes sense. And does it take longer? Maybe. Does it cost a little more? Sometimes, but you are demanding in what you do.
All the time. It always takes. I always tell people this too. Do you have the money or do you have the time? If you have the money, you can custom remake those. I can have those all custom. We can match it all now, especially with like all the 3D modeling, all this jazz. I mean, my little guy, my fourth grader can go in right now and pop something up on like the 3D printer. And I'm like, what is that?
Right.
However, I'm always one, I want to put more money into the restoration. So that's why I'm a seeker. I go, don't throw away your old molding. I have a barn that is full of like excess trim that we had bought salvage to put in the Ransom Gillis house. Also, after I left the Ransom Gillis house, all of my salvage doors that we had put in there, they kicked to the curb. So I have those too. So those will go back in another house.
And we
have all the old house parts. But
so let's recap really quick. Tell everybody the address, the time, everything about the tour for Ransom Gillis. So we can get everyone out there.
Yes.
I'm gonna stop by as well.
Yeah, come on by.
I won't act VIP at all though.
I mean,
I'll turn my phone off.
Listen,
I'll get right in line like everyone else.
I don't know if you want to be in the VIP because the VIP to get in. Okay, so let me break this down. Ransom Gillis house tomorrow. I wore this orange shirt because I wore it in 2015. It's a little tighter.
It still looks good.
Listen, listen, my arms aren't what they used to be. And I don't even want to show my arms right now, but I'm just saying I was known for my arms. But
you're doing fine.
Come out to Ransom Gillis, the blonde in the front heckling people to donate. It's still me.
Yeah.
The people running the whole thing, it's still my friends and family.
It is charity, by the way.
It is a charity. We give the money to a family. So it's not a cash grab as some nasty, vile person on the Detroit Historical Architectural Facebook put yesterday. Big shout out real quick to Benjamin Gravel. He runs the Facebook page for Historical Detroit Architecture. That guy is Johnny on the spot for everything. And I hope he comes tomorrow. So tomorrow, Ransom Gillis. Line starts at 10:30. Please do not line up before 10:30. Do not. If you're bringing down your parents or I don't want to say elderly because people look at me like I'm elderly at this point. I'm just going to say if you're one of my old people, okay, which old people quantifies you like,
we'll call them the OG.
Could you be my grandma? Could you be my grandma? Like that gets you into the VIP line. All right.
Yeah.
Grandma Faye, the infamous Grandma Faye, my neighbor from up at my farm. She's always on my social media. She's a huge
Right.
Tigers fan, Lions fan. She's going to be there tomorrow. She would not let me put her in the VIP line. I'll tell you that, because she would be like, no, I
Here's
don't
a
need to be
funny
there.
story,
Yeah.
really quick. Side note.
Yeah.
My grandmother's name was Faye.
Really?
I called her Bubby Faye.
Oh,
My
I
mom's
love
mother's name
it.
was Faye.
Yeah.
I've never heard another Faye in my life till just now.
No. Her
Bubby Faye,
is like
Grandma
her middle,
Faye.
real name's Opal. I'm gonna get it today. She's very she's full of personality.
Yeah.
So yes, so she will be there tomorrow. But if you cannot, the VIP line is only for those that have the wisdom and experience of years. That's how we're gonna say it. Okay, there
right.
you go. So bring your parents down, bring your mom down, bring your dad down, bring your uncle down, and just pull up. Let them off. Do not make them walk 2 blocks, 3 blocks. Pull up. Just let us know that you're dropping them off, or put them in the line. I'll get them right in. I do stop the line, and I will put people ahead of you. Do not be nasty, because then I'll just eject you from line. I got nothing to lose, people.
Right.
Mostly, like, a lot of people out there hate me right now anyways. So if you're being an ass, okay, I can't say that word either. Okay. So if you're not being nice, I'm going to boot you from the line. And it's not being mean. It's just it's a respectful, fun day to raise money for a family in need in Detroit. So please come out. We take cash. I'm not doing Venmo. I'm not doing a little QR code. I'm not doing any of that jazz. Bring us cash. It's $15 donation. If you want to give more, God bless you. Give more. Listen, if you have a whole family with you and you have your beautiful small children, we are not going to charge you $15 a head. Okay, just come at, give what you can. But don't be pulling up in your Maserati and then tell me you don't have $15 cash. I'm going to give you the booth then too.
Wait.
So line starts 10:30. Don't get in line before then. Doors open at 11. If you're in line before 1, we got you. We'll get you in.
Yeah.
Please just come, smile, share your stories. There were so many babies at the original Ransom Gillis house
that are now 10, 12,
They're
13
11 years old.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I had my own there.
Yeah.
So bring the babies. I want to see them.
That's so funny. Well, congratulations to you. And again, for everyone out there who's listening, you want to visit Ransom Gillis tomorrow, get there at 10:30.
No, not 10.
Oh.
10:30.
10:30.
Yes, 10:30.
Get there at 10:30. I apologize. It's a $15 donation. Goes straight to charity for a family in need. And I agree with all that. So, Nicole, thank you. Any message to the audience?
I love Detroit. I
Yeah.
love Detroit. I love old houses. And to everyone who's stuck by me in the past few months, God bless you.
Right.
Thank you. And to those of you who are struggling out there today, I always say a prayer at the opening of our event. And I always say, if you need prayers, send us an email. We'll include you in it. That's it.
Perfect.
Thanks, Adam.
Love that.
Yes.
Love that. And I'll be there myself as well. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank Nicole Curtis for coming on the show today. Congratulations to you. Big chapters ahead. No problems. Everything looks great.
Forward. Yeah.
Always, fail forward is the way I look at it.
Exactly.
Thanks for tuning in, my friends. And we'll be here next week, always every Saturday, 8 to 9 on WRAF 101.1, Everything That Rocks, Beasley Network. My name's Adam Helfman, and this is the Hire It Done Radio Network.